Hi, Movie Chronicles here. Today I will explain a Taiwanese drama movie called American Girl. At the movie's beginning, a middle-aged mother, Lily, arrives at a Taiwanese airport from the United States with her two young daughters. She has left the States because she has breast cancer, and she wants her girls to be with their dad if anything happens to her. Meanwhile, her husband, Hui, is waiting for them outside the airport. Listening to the news of the SARS outbreak, Lily and her daughters exit the airport shortly after, and Hui quickly notices them. The family then drives back to their house. Meanwhile, Finn appears upset because she badly misses her best friend, Jessie from LA. After driving for a while, they arrive home, and Lily finds the apartment in terrible condition. When she inquires Hui, he explains that he just arrived from China and didn't have time to clean it. After entering the house, Finn sits before the computer to text with her friends, but her mother scolds her to go to bed, saying it is already late. Finn then returns to her room, where she discovers her new school uniform. Afterward, she gets upset, learning that she has to trim her long hair for school. As everyone goes to bed, Finn quietly uses the computer, but the internet is too slow to connect. The following day, Lily and her husband Hui go for Lily's follow-up, and the couple discovers that the lumps in Lily's chest have enlarged. Looking at the report, Dr. Han advises her to consider having the lumps surgically removed as soon as possible. But Lily thinks to wait for some time because she wants her girl to adjust to their new surroundings first. In the next scene, Hui drops Finn at her new school, and before leaving, he tries to cheer her up by saying that her short hair looks nicer. Inside her school, Finn visits her class teacher, Miss Sue, who gives her a new textbook and reminds her to study for her daily tests. Later in the classroom, while Finn is copying notes from the board, the teacher erases them before she can finish writing them. Looking at Finn struggling, Ting, a nearby classmate, passes her notes to Finn. After the classes, Ting walks up to Finn and reveals to her that they were childhood friends before Finn went to the United States. Elsewhere, Lily lies in a hospital bed after her surgery. Although she is not in good health, she only cares about her daughters and speaks to her husband about buying them a new house and giving them proper facilities. After a few days, while Finn helps her mother to take a bath, she inquires with her about their return to the United States. Lily responds that they should stay with their father and reveals that she has breast cancer and may not survive long. Getting sad, Finn then leaves the place immediately. Later in dinner, Finn again raises the question about going to the US, which induces a dispute among the family. Afterward, while Finn and Anne are cleaning the dishes, they hear their parents arguing, and Hui encouraging Lily to be optimistic about her health. The next morning, Lily attends her chemotherapy session while Hui gets busy in his office. Hui reads a book about handling oneself when a loved one has cancer in his spare time at the office. Trying to cheer up Finn, Hui returns home with a bicycle for her because she asked him to buy one the previous day. One day, Finn and Ting visit a comic book store while getting along. Ting reveals to Finn that she longs to speak English as fluently as Finn, but on the other hand, Finn says that she hates her mother for bringing them back to Taiwan. Following that, Finn brings her friend Ting to her house, and the two begin conversing. While Ting spots many sketches of horses in Finn's room, she inquires with Finn about them. Finn then responds that horses are her obsession, and she enjoys riding them a lot. While the two are talking, Anne arrives downstairs and rings the bell as she has forgotten to carry her keys again. Annoyed, Finn refuses to unlock the door, trying to teach her a lesson about her forgetfulness. As Anne continues to ring the bell, Finn detaches the doorbell wire, leaving her locked outside for the whole day. In the evening, Lily arrives home from the market carrying bags, but at stairs, she faces difficulty while climbing because Finn does not hear her ringing the bell. However, when she arrives at the house, she discovers that Anne has been kept outside for the entire day. Lily then scolds Finn for her rude behavior towards little Anne, but Finn instead quarrels with her and leaves the place. At their computer class, Finn and Ting search over the internet for a horse riding spot nearby, planning to visit the place one day. Later that night, Hui informs Lily that he must travel to China for a business job. Trying not to let him go, Lily asks if he can send someone else in his place, but he says that he should complete his assignment at any cost. One evening, Finn is seen doing her homework, and her study has been degrading day by day. Finn copies her mother's signature to sign on the report card because she is hiding her grades from her parents. One day, Hui takes Finn to a furniture store to buy a study table for her. He tries to convince Finn that she should care for her mother and show her some respect, but Finn disagrees with him, stating her reasons. She then selects a costly dressing table instead of a study table. Later, when the furniture arrives, it turns out that Hui bought the dressing table for Finn, although the family is in an economic crisis. When Lily sees this, she becomes enraged and yells at Hui for lavishly spending money. The next morning, Hui is bid farewell by Finn only when he leaves for China. Later, Anne teases Finn by saying that she wants to return to the US by forcing the parents to divorce. In the next scene, Finn's teacher distributes the test scores. Finn has failed as she got 52 out of 100. Shortly after, the teacher reveals that Finn's score is the lowest in the class. She then asks the failed student to stand up, but Finn refuses. Looking at Finn's behavior, the teacher gets infuriated and beats her brutally on the hands with a long stick many times. After the classes, Finn visits an internet cafe and spends her time looking for nearby horse riding spots. She also accesses a chatting website and sends a message which includes her phone number to her best friend, Jessie. Later, Finn sits by the phone, hoping her friend will call her. However, she feels sad as she doesn't get a call. In the next scene, Lily attends a parent-teacher meeting at Finn's school, and there, she is approached by Ting's mother. Ting's mother then blames that Finn's company had resulted in a decrement in Ting's studies. While Lily hears this, she becomes infuriated and rushes out of the meeting room. But before going out, she warns everyone that their grades do not define a student's character. On the other side, we learn that Finn has begun visiting internet cafes daily and that she has started writing a blog titled, "I Hate You, Mom." The next day at school, Miss Sue discovers Finn's blog and expresses her admiration for it. She advises Finn to practice for the year's speech contest and utter her words. Back at home, Lily checks Finn's notebooks by accident while cleaning the house and discovers the sketches of horses. Lily then realizes she has unknowingly isolated her children from the life they used to live in the United States. She later brings her girls to a cozy restaurant and allows them to eat everything they want, just as they did in the United States. While having a good meal, both daughters have a good time there. Sometime later, Hui returns home from China. However, Lily sanitizes him before entering inside because of the fast-spreading SARS. Later in the evening, Finn puts color on Hui's hair. The entire family can be seen united and joyful for the first time. They enjoy laughing while making fun of Hui. Lily makes Hui promise her that he will look after the children after she passes away. Instead, Hui urges her to acquire positive feelings rather than brooding about her death all the time, but she ignores him. The next day, Hui drives Finn to her school, and on the way, she tells him to think about sending her back to the US if she wins the speech competition. At school, Ting assists her in memorizing Mandarin speech. Ting questions Finn why she has written such hateful remarks about her mother. Finn responds that she believes her mother is capable of much more than she is. Back at home, Hui prepares his luggage for his next journey to China. Lily comes up to him and tells him that Anne has been sick for 3 days and has a fever. She believes Anne has contracted the SARS virus and advises him to take her to a doctor. When Hui hears this, he claims she may be suffering from a cold and advises Lily to give her some medicine at home because traveling to the hospital amidst the SARS pandemic is extremely dangerous. However, despite Hui's advice, Lily takes Anne to the hospital the next morning. Upon arriving, Lily finds a long line of people waiting. Lily is asked to fill out a form, examine Anne's swab, and wait for the report when it is their turn. Shortly after, when the report arrives, Lily is taken aback to learn that Anne is suffering from pneumonia, which is one of the indications of SARS. The doctor informs Lily that Anne should be quarantined, and she can only take her once she is fully recovered. Lily then calls Hui in no time, who is about to leave for the airport. Initially, he becomes furious at Lily for taking Anne to the hospital, but later, he requests her to return home because she is not in good health to wait for Anne. Elsewhere, Miss Sue calls Finn to her office and motivates her to prepare for her speech. Finn arrives home happy, but soon, she discovers that her younger sister is quarantined in the hospital, and Finn should also be quarantined at home. When Lily tries to phone Finn's teacher to request sick leave, Finn informs her about her upcoming speech competition the next day. Lily advises Finn to put her health first, but Finn refuses to listen and rips the phone away from her. Getting furious, Lily then runs into Finn's room. and begins shredding her photos and posters. Observing this, Finn then hits Lily and the two fight. At the moment, Hui arrives at the place and separates the two. However, when Finn continues to curse her mother, Hui thrashes her badly, ordering her to talk respectfully to her mother. Lily feels bad and she watches her daughter crying. However, Finn quickly leaves the house without speaking to anyone. In the next scene, Finn rides in a bus and goes to a nearby horse stable. She appears to be enjoying herself as she goes near one of the white horses. She embraces it and caresses its back, and the horse seems to like her back. She then plans to take it for a ride and begins assembling the gears. However, the horse moves around and makes it difficult for her to put the straps on it. Following that, it is revealed that Finn is being escorted by a female police officer back to her home. Back home, Lily is deeply concerned about Anne's health. She hastily picks up the phone whenever it rings, assuming it's about Anne. Afterward, Finn peeks at her mother, crying at the rooftop while she removes the cleaned and dried clothes. Downstairs, Hui again confronts her, saying that he went through her speech and will send her back to the US if that makes her happy. The next day, the family gets a call from the hospital, informing them that Anne's health is improving and she was suffering from pneumonia, but not from SARS. And in seconds, Hui hurries to fetch Anne back home. While walking downstairs, Hui halts for a while and cries in joy, as their daughter will be home soon. Later, Finn asks her mother to clean her ear while her father is away. In the process, Finn asks Lily if she remembers their desires to become different in their next life. Lily responds that Finn's wish to be a horse is all she recalls. Finding back love towards her mother, Finn becomes sad and begs her not to die. Hearing such loving words from her mother, Lily also gets emotional, and she tells her that she adores her very much. Finn waits for her little sister to arrive home in the final scene. Afterward, when her father brings Anne back home, Finn runs downstairs to meet with her younger sister. And here the movie ends. For more unique and fascinating movies that you may not even have heard about, click on the videos on your screen. Also, do subscribe, like, and comment. Your one act will make a huge difference to us.